30 seconds.
Oh my God. So deep. The time is now.
Please forgive me if I mess up. Please forgive me.
Everybody's going to forgive. It's being real.
Hello, welcome to Hello Live. Tickle your senses with cannabis. I'm your host, Erin Willis, and today I have our amazing guest, Jennifer Skog with Hello MJ, or MJ Lifestyle, and we have our wonderful Karli Warner with Garden Society. So we're really excited about this segment, especially with our giveaways. So all of this is about the sensations, the terpenes. So we're actually going to be giving away, every 10 minutes, we're going to be giving away a diffuser with a pack of essential oils. And you have that chance to win by just saying hello, let us know you're in the chat, share this link with your social media accounts, and then let us know that you're sharing that link. And at 10 minutes, we'll name our winner. Okay, so, and before I forget, we're also giving away a Garden Society pack on HelloMD.com for 30% off for the remainder of this week until next Wednesday. So I am really excited to get started. Jennifer, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Jennifer with MJ Lifestyle, founder and chief creative. We are a magazine and creative agency. And so a little bit about me, I am a longtime cannabis advocate and consumer / stoner girl.
Yes.
And I have been living, under the shadows like most professional women for 20 plus years, really kind of hiding my cannabis consumption from the rest of the world for fear of being judged. And when I jumped into this, I really kind of didn't want to for fear of being judged. And what I ended up finding was how little women are represented in the cannabis space. And they're represented, but not in a positive light. So for us, it was really important to kind of educate and advocate for women in this space. Much like the female plant has been stigmatized for years, women have been globally stigmatized for years, well, our entire lifetimes. So globally. So anyway, this is a way for us to really educate and advocate for women like you and you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, it's beautiful.
That's great. All right, Karli, what can you tell us about yourself?
Sure. So I am co-founder of Garden Society with my amazing partner, Erin Gore. We founded the company in 2016 really with this vision and drive to bring cannabis to women in a joyful and beautiful and delicious manner. So when we founded the company, there weren't a lot of products in the market that were targeted toward women, that were dosed for women, that we're using strains meant to help women. So we really wanted to bring that to the forefront. And we've done that with our beautiful edibles and pre-rolls.
Yes.
I also was sort of in the closet and actually had an amazing conversation with Erin several years ago at the Nomad Hotel in New York, and we were having a glass of wine and we started talking about our cannabis use, both being professional women, and it was amazing to have this connection and realize that there were other women out there who were using cannabis to help with anxiety or pain or whatever that is. So, and then coming from the wine industry, there's a lot of ties from wine to cannabis. So it's been really exciting and fun, and I'm so thankful to be here and meet beautiful women like you.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
It's like finding long lost sisters.
It
You're
is.
like, You use cannabis too?
What? You've been
Yeah.
hiding it? Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing and introducing. So, Jennifer, I read recently in a New York Times article that magazines in general are on the decline, yet cannabis magazines are on the incline. Can you tell us more? Like, why do you think that is?
Yeah, so, well, I think for decades, if not longer, women have wanted to have a safe, refined platform to, well, I guess that's for this, but in general, people want to know about cannabis. There's a ton of knowledge that needs to be, out there for people to understand. As far as paper-wise, I almost feel like even a lot of cannabis consumers are creative. They love to feel it, and they want to have it with them wherever they touch and feel the images. Yeah. The other thing about, because it's for print that magazines are going on the rise, I really just think there's just a ton of information, and it kind of goes in everything. We've got this brand new resource, cannabis. Like, I think the last time we had a resource was tech. So imagine, and this thing affects all areas, medical, clothing, it can make anything. And it's like a miracle. Like, it's like a little miracle tool that's been, I don't even know, unfortunately criminalized for so long, which is what we're kind of fighting for, So I think there's so many different avenues that you can go down in the cannabis space, and I think people are just really hungry for good information, correct information, and there's a lot coming out. So it's stuff we're really needing to get globally.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
And I love that you say that it's a plethora of really content. Cannabis, this plant, textile, medicinal, creativity, the terpenes that we're about to get into. There's so many components to the cannabis plant that it's like, of course we're going to come out with magazines. Of course we're going to get more women involved. It's a renaissance of this beautiful plant. So I'm glad you spoke to that.
And women are really they're really kind of leading the charge in it, because a lot of it is about taking care of our family members, ourselves, our children, and our parents. So I think that's another reason why women are really leading the charge in the cannabis space as well.
The caregivers. Love that. Okay, and Karli, you said you're in the wine industry. I think there's a major parallel there. And did you say Erin was as well, or was it just the wine talk? Or?
Yeah, so I come from, my former career was in the wine industry, and Erin and I met through that. I was working on her husband's wine brand, so she and I met through some different media tours and things that we were doing, and connected over cannabis. And one of the things that I love about the connection between cannabis and wine is they both start in the ground. They both start as agricultural products. And then through the course of their processing and, as they come to market, you're then seeing them at fancy restaurants in terms of wine, and you're enjoying cannabis at home in different occasions. So there's a lot of occasion and hospitality that ties wine and cannabis together. And then you have the terpenes that create the smells in both products. So I think there's a lot there, and you're seeing a lot of wine, people who drink wine kind of moving over to cannabis and experiencing that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, all the dimensions of wine and the craft behind it. It's really the same with cannabis. There's just so much to explore in that. So I believe it's about 3 minutes to our giveaway. So just to remind you how to enter, just comment to let us know that you're there. Say your name, say hello. Then share our link to your social media accounts to invite your friends and loved ones to tune in. And then just let us know that you shared that. We have a couple more minutes before the... Oh, wow. Guys, first winner.
Wow.
All right, sister. We're doing Sister Coyote as our first winner. Congratulations.
Woohoo, Sister Coyote.
Yeah, and just a reminder, please submit any questions you have for our founders here about women-owned businesses, terpenes, cannabis. Ask whatever it is you'd like to ask. We're here for you. So I'd love to just dive into this terpene talk. As a holistic nutritionist, again, terpenes are the bridge between cannabis and nutrition. And both across the line are medicinal. So what is a terpene? So terpenes, it's the protective part of a plant that also gives its aroma. It gives it that its taste. It's what protects a plant all plants have terpenes, not just cannabis, not just wine or the grapes. So to dive in, we have limonene, one of my favorite terpenes. It's that citrus, it's that tangerine, that grapefruit. Oh, there you go, yeah. And in there is cinnamon, because there's that little pepper spice to the citrus. And what I love about limonene is it's an anti-inflammatory. It really clears your system. It awakens you. It just like, when you smell an orange, it's just like, wow, yeah, I feel good. I feel refreshed. If you notice, cleaning products often have a citrus component to give it that fresh, clean feeling. Next, if you'd like to smell this is our pinene.
Yum.
I love pinene because it's like a forest bath. So you're just walking in a forest, you take a deep breath, and you just feel revitalized, you feel rejuvenated. It opens up your airways. It's a bronchodilator. So those with asthma, it can really help you just feel a little clearer in your breath. It's awesome for cannabis because it's that uplifting, much like limonene, rejuvenating, uplifting, all of those wonderful adjectives. So moving over here, this is a good one. So when we all talk about cannabis and it's dank and it's skunky and it like couch locks you, that's the myrcene. That's that mango, that skunk, that mushroom. This actually smells really potent. You just took a real big one. I know. So that's going to be like your granddaddy purple. That's the really danky stuff. And this is perfect for people who have like insomnia because it helps relax you. Fibromyalgia, it really calms the nerves. PTSD, it really helps you forget and tune out. Anything with a high level, of course. That's why it's really important to look at the labels and see what's in your strains. Over here is linalool, my absolute favorite. That lavender came out of my car. I just love that smell. It's that jasmine, that lavender, that geranium, that rose. And what I love about this one is it's also calming. I have this essential oil that I put on my pillow and my son's pillow, and it has that lavender, that chamomile. It's the calming one. It's the one that makes you just feel lovely and like you're stopping to smell the roses, and it helps you just quiet down and calm down and get in the moment. So yes, let's see. We have a question. Okay, so. Natural occurring terpenes in nature are also beneficial for many health problems and mood enhancements. Yes. So although terpenes in nature are technically for the plant to protect it from the environment and the sun, it's got major benefits for us, both physical and mood enhancements. So that was an amazing question. Thank you. Please keep submitting questions. We're here to answer. So, what about terpenes do you guys like? Jennifer, what are your favorite ones, would you say?
Well, for me as a creative, I've always really just I will consume and then get on my computer and start creating. I really love these two guys. And what's funny is you had also mentioned that the limonene, I have a very sensitive stomach, so alcohol for me has always been really just something I don't consume a lot of, and cannabis has always calmed my tummy down. So it's been something that really kind of just relieves me and just almost gets me out of my own, perfectionist type of head, especially when I'm creating, because as most artists know, when you're creating, you're just constantly judging your own work over and over and over and over again. And so for me, these two are my biggest ones. And then, of course, to shut my mind off is something a little bit more danky.
Awesome.
Floral.
So I just reminded myself of, why does this matter? Why do terpenes really matter? And especially in the cannabis industry. So many of us have heard of full spectrum and the entourage effect. So all that full spectrum means is that there are still the original terpenes, the original cannabinoids from the cannabis plant. And within the cannabis plant, it's actually the trichomes. So if we can even see this, the best part. the terpenes are located in those little like frosty bits. I know we've all seen like really snowflakey cannabis buds. Those have like really luscious terpenes in them. So that is the entourage effect. That's the full spectrum, is you're taking this whole plant and you're putting it into products like Garden Society. So Karli, could you maybe touch on your full spectrum and what that means to you?
Sure. So so my partner Erin is a chemical engineer by trade. So when she set out to devise the formulations of our products, we wanted to make sure that we were using as much of the plant as possible. And so we worked with actually an advisor out of Lehi, Utah, to make sure that we were using an extraction method that was maintaining as many of the cannabinoids and terpenes as possible. So we actually use a full spectrum crude in all of our inputs for our edibles. And what that means is we're maintaining as many of the original cannabinoids and terpenes as possible, and then inputting those into our edibles. So you actually might get a more robust or full-bodied high from our edibles because we're using that full spectrum crude versus some of the other edibles in the market that are using more of a distillate, which, I mean, there's a place for everything, but I definitely think that there's going to, as the science comes out and we learn more about, you know, the effectiveness of that entourage effect, you know, I think that that's going to be within the science as they start, and it already is starting to come forth. So, yeah.
And distillate is when they're stripping individual cannabinoids out of the plant, correct?
Right,
So you're just getting, so you're not getting that full plant.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
as
and that's
well as
kinda
the
like-
terpenes and
Yes.
the
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they almost
flavonoids.
strip everything out of there, and then some of them add it back in. But
Yes.
it's much nicer to get the whole, all of it together.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we
Holistic.
definitely, while we are a lifestyle brand, like we want to make sure that, you know, our milk chocolates, for example, help with sleep. So we need to make sure that there's intention there, that the input is actually going to do what we say it's going to do. So you need that full spectrum
100%.
input. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's actually a major thing to say about the marketing side of cannabis. When you're claiming effects, you want to make sure that your consumer is really feeling that, and that could possibly be found in the terpene profile, the cannabinoid profile. So these are really important things that we need to remember. So what's interesting is that we went over this before, but could you dive a little deeper into terpenes that are found in wine?
Sure. So I think for a lot of people out there who are already consuming wine and maybe starting to explore the idea of enjoying cannabis, you know, this can be a really relatable sort of side-by-side. So say you have a beautiful Pinot Noir and you're swirling and you smell that earthy sort of mushroom. Well, that's likely that you're smelling myrcene.
Yeah.
And just like you might smell that in some of the strains in cannabis that contain myrcene, it happens to be the most prevalent terpene in cannabis. So you also might get like a Sauvignon Blanc. You may swirl and get those citrus notes.
Yes.
That's again going to be the limonene. So
Incredible.
it directly relates to, you know, the different wines, and as you're evaluating wine, you can also do the same with cannabis. So you look at wine, you swirl the glass, you smell it. And then you taste it. So with cannabis, you can examine the flower that you're consuming. You can then kind of break it apart and get that aroma and figure out, you know, maybe even play a guessing game on terpenes. And then from there, you know, just have this full sensory experience. So it's not just smoking and getting high,
Exactly.
which, you know,
Right.
can be purposeful.
Right.
But you can make it a more full-bodied sensory experience.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you for touching points. So we are about to have our second giveaway. So just remember to enter, simply say hello in the chat. Let us know you're there. Share our link to your social media platform, and then just let us know that you did that. And just remember, if you don't win the diffuser or essential oils this round, we also have our Garden Society bundle pack for 30% off at our store for the next week. Also, please keep asking those questions. We would love to hear what you think about what we're talking about. Any questions you have, they're very welcome. So we have our second giveaway winner. So we have Josie. Joazie. Congratulations
Josie.
for our diffuser and essential oils, so you can have a full body sensory experience. All right. So I really want to kind of see how we can apply this new terpene knowledge that we've kind of explored. How can we give our consumers the ability to just take this and own it when it comes to what their desired effects are, and kind of what to look for in the store. Do we have any feedback on that, Jennifer?
Well, I mean, in dispensaries, you mean, I think it's really about knowledge and knowing who's behind the brand, understanding, what the brand's, what's going on with the brand. Obviously, don't get your stuff on Amazon.
That's
really
major.
just empowering yourself with knowledge is the biggest, really the biggest tool. I know Jamie from the Herb Som, she has these amazing experiential events where you can, where she teaches a lot about all of the terpenes and.
Definitely,
all
she
these-
has really cool interactive events.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
This
and
is
that
her
can kind of
wheelhouse.
Educate,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a great reference point. Thank you.
Yeah, she's she's got some great knowledge
got it
about
going on.
terpenes and stuff.
If you Google online too, there's a really cool cannabis sort of a flavor wheel. And so that has different flavor profiles of different strains of cannabis,
Yes.
different senses.
Right.
And so I definitely encourage people to Google that, look at that. And that's another way you can kind of evaluate, okay, that strain might be cool. And then you look around for your local dispensaries to find out, where those might be. I know there's a dispensary in Sebastopol that they actually list their terpene profiles of their
wow. I love
flower.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you can there are ways that you can explore and start to understand and, look at ingredient lists on packaging, look at websites and start to understand where the products are coming
Right.
from and the care that I think the more transparent brands are about the cannabis, the
Right.
more likely that you're getting something that's really intentional.
Yeah.
Plus, obviously, you want to know what you want, like whether you're doing it recreationally or
Right.
what kind of symptom are you trying to kind of feel better, alleviate.
Yeah.
And that would for me would be the first thing. Just like what do I want?
Ooh, I
Yeah,
love that.
definitely.
So just to kind of wrap up our segment on terpenes, we are clearly really passionate about terpenes. I would love to know, why do terpenes matter to you and maybe your brand, MJ Lifestyle?
Well, I mean, they're obviously super important because they're part of the full spectrum, and it gives us our experience, really, the whole, with our magazine, what we really wanted to do was kind of create, basically tickle every sense. And so we actually had the idea to put some terpenes in there and smell it up.
I
But
love
so
that. So much better than the perfume inserts.
yeah, really, it's for us. It's about educating and really empowering women to become leaders in their own space, whether it's cannabis or outside. But using cannabis as a tool for inner peace and vitality, basically.
Definitely.
So yeah.
Perhaps even full embodiment.
Full
and
embodiment,
being in the
all
moment.
of it, yes,
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, it's like if the apocalypse came or we got infested by zombies, I'd be worried if I had enough weed. That's like my biggest worry. Obviously my children, but like the number one thing, it wouldn't even be my phone. It would be my cannabis.
I love this
before
so much.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I
Like,
mean,
it's been needed in my life for a very long time.
That's awesome.
All right, so real quick, why do terpenes really matter to you and maybe your business?
Sure. Well, I mean, first and foremost, in setting out to build this brand, we wanted to make sure that we were using high quality ingredients, high quality cannabis. So the terpenes are really important because having a beautiful terpene profile is going to provide the input that we want for the different effects that our products are going to provide. So terpenes are really important in that way. Also, they just smell really good. I love lavender when I sleep. In fact, my daughter's pediatrician, a Western medicine doctor, even said, you should put some lavender in her room to help her settle down at night. And I was like, that's a great tip. So I think there are so many ways that it can be applied. And the word terpene can be a little bit like scary or off-putting because you don't quite know what it means. But it's basically just smells that invoke senses and invoke reactions that are, make you feel good or make you relaxed or energize you.
Yeah,
and
really powerful scents.
yeah. So I think that,
And they're the main ingredient in essential oils. That's
Exactly.
another way to look at it.
Yeah. So if you kind of
Great.
Okay.
So I actually have another audience question. What are your favorite resources for women in cannabis, community-wise or education? So
Great.
maybe really lean into that one.
MJ Lifestyle. But really, Miss Grass is kicking ass. They're doing a great job with educating. Mother Indica is one of my faves as well. How about Karli? Do you have?
Hello MD, of
Oh
course.
yeah,
Not to brown nose or anything. But no, they have Hello MD has some really great resources. And then in terms of women, empower, like kind of looking for local women's groups that are involved in cannabis. I know, for example, up in the North Bay, Women's CBD is a group that gets together and supports women. There are a lot of Facebook groups, and I think honestly, just like reaching out in your community and starting to open it up in conversation with girlfriends about cannabis, and you're gonna find either women that are in the industry or people who are interested in it and willing to go on a field trip with you to your nearest dispensary. So I think just really
Talkativity is great.
Yeah.
So,
women's group.
one last giveaway. So just to remind you, just let us know. We have about a few minutes until we're going to announce our next giveaway. So just remind us or say hello in the chat. Share the link in the chat box, and then just let us know that you shared it. Or I'm sorry, share the link in your social media. I messed that up.
That's all right.
Here we go, guys.
Relax. Yes.
Take a sniff.
And please be
Center.
sure to ask any questions you have about terpenes, about, let's talk about, do we have favorite strains or?
Yeah.
I'm a Jack Herrera or a Blue Dreamer, Calio. I kind of like the sativas.
Yeah,
and of course
so
the
good.
limonene.
Definitely. I and not just because we make our pre-rolls with this, but I love Headband. It really lifts me up. It's actually amazing pre-bedroom with a partner. It's a great way to kind of get in the mood, bring the sensuality out.
Yeah.
I really encourage that. I mean, it's such a great way to kind of loosen up, shed the stress of the day, and really just have like an intimate, relaxing moment with your partner. I think that's really important. So I love that about Headband. It really brings that sort of relax. Even though it's a sativa, it sort of just sheds all worry away.
Yeah, I get that. I love
It
to
doesn't make
clean
you
with
fall asleep.
headband.
Yeah, exactly. What was that?
I love to clean with headband.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Get in the zone.
I totally OG for some reason gets me in this like super efficient mode. It's funny how different strains affect people in different ways.
Which is a great point to make, that all cannabis affects us in different ways. So really maybe note which one's your favorite and what brands you love so that you can really curate that experience. Okay, so just a reminder, this is our last giveaway of this segment this week. Just be sure to let us know you're there. Send off the link to your social media and let us know that you did that for a chance to win a diffuser and 3 really top line essential oils. All right, so we have a question. Does CBD from hemp have terpenes we can trace? Yes. So it depends on the brand. Hemp, it's just now regulated. It's just now getting its bearings. So it's really important that you look for the brand that shares that transparency of these are the terpenes that are in our product, because hemp does have terpenes. And if it's a female plant, it could actually have bursting amounts of terpenes because the flower is intact. It's not just the seeds like a male plant would have. So really do your homework, do your research on the brands that you feel maybe align with the quality you're looking for, the effects that you're looking for. Because hemp-derived can be just as wonderful as cannabis-derived CBD. It's all one and the same, essentially, if you know what to look for. Hope that answers it. Okay, so, we got our winner, too. Nicole B. Frere. I hope I'm saying that right. Congratulations. All right, that was our final winner. And if you did not win today, no worries. We have our bundle of Garden Society here for 30% off in the store this week up until our next live event. So do we have any closing comments? anything that we could talk about?
Sure. So it's been wonderful standing here speaking with you ladies, and I'm so excited that we got to kind of bring this one element of cannabis out to the viewers and tell them about why terpenes are important. I think we hear so much about THC and CBD and, first of all, just defining what those are, but then understanding that there's so much more to the plant than just those two cannabinoids.
Yes.
There's over 100 types of cannabinoids in the plant.
115.
Still going. And then you have all of the terpenes, and it's just, making sure that I think at the end of the day, what we can all take away from this is making sure to go out and educate yourself on the brands that you're buying, on the flower, and especially in the world of CBD, making sure that you're, doing research around who's testing and all of that. Regulated cannabis is one of the cleanest things you can consume these days because it's so heavily tested.
Yeah,
so I think
that's
definitely kind of a takeaway there. Yeah.
Thank you, ladies, so much. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. But please, Jennifer, tell us, where can the audience learn more about you? How can they keep up with what you have going on?
Yeah, so we are on mjlifestyle.com. We are in fine art print twice a year. Our next issue is coming out this summer on policy and social justice, which is freaking huge, and I swear it's going to change the minds of many.
I cannot wait.
So please go pre-order. It's super, super powerful. We've got some amazing women in there. And yeah, go also Instagram, MJ Lifestyle, anything MJ Lifestyle, Mary Jane Lifestyle.
There you go. All right, Karli, what about you?
Sure, so you can find us at thegardensociety.com. You can also find us on Instagram at GRDN Society. That's also our handle on Facebook and Twitter, although we're not on Twitter a lot.
It's hard.
Other people on there, I want to stay away. No. Yeah. And then we also have a podcast, Garden Society, the podcast. We're on all major channels. You can find a podcast. So excited to just hear from folks. And then, of course, you can find all of our products on HelloMD.
Perfect. At 30% off this bundle for this week. Okay, so please tune in next week. We're going to celebrate Pride together and really just dive in with cannabis. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you so much, Karli. This was incredible. Remember, you can get your doctor's recommendation on HelloMD. You can find so many of the products that we talked about today. Thank you so much for having us, and we'll look forward to next week.
Woohoo.
Bye, guys.